First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Okakodash, the blood and soul apostles and elders are great men. Citation to men and brethren in this book in sincerity and in truth. Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, his name is He, means He to be, He exists, the existent one. Bahasham in the name, Yahushai, his only begotten Savior Son, He deliverer, He Savior. Israel is going to need a deliverer and a Savior here in these last days from the onslaught of the devil, which is the so-called white man, East from Edom. And these other nations are going to come in as a flood, right? As in the form of these stormtroopers to inflict martial law, all right, in these last days. All right, this is what we've been telling you all for years. Never to trust thy enemy. Esau and Edom being the enemy, and these nations, their technology, their blessing is the sword and the fatness of the earth. Right, so it says Wi-Fi devices set to become object sensors by 2024 under Plan 802.11 BF standard. Security and privacy still left to fix, preferably before launch. Right, in 3 years or so, Wi-Fi specifications is scheduled to get an upgrade that will turn wireless devices into sensors capable of gathering data about the people and objects bathed in their signals. Right, so we know ultimately the mark of the beast is the RFID microchip. Right, their form of monitoring or godhood would be to have a device within the system of your body that it can also be tracked, but there's going to be a whole network of things put together so that it can be tracked. All your movements could be tracked, right? Hence Elon Musk putting up the Starlink satellites, etc. Right? As you show in the movie Minority Report, you know, Tom Cruise, he went to do the eye surgery or whatever, however it went, but he had to hide in the bathtub. When he had in the bathtub underneath the water, the little robots came and they were sensing, right? They sense him in underneath the water, and then when they shock him until he came out, and then what? They scanned his eyes, right? So basically this kind of futuristic scanning stuff. Hey, I better even brought it out, the Jetsons, you know, KFC supposed to be the first to 3D print chicken nuggets, right? This is the times that we're living in. This is the ultimate end. This is the end, you know, the end of the end. The end started 2,000 years ago upon the death of Yahushai, or over 2,000 years ago upon the death of Yahushai, right? But the end is here now, right? In these times here, where this devil has been revealed, pursuant to 2 Thessalonians. Yes, I think it's 2 Thessalonians, right? That is the son of perdition, man of sin, shall be revealed, which is Esau, the so-called white man, right? It says, when 802.11 BF will be finalized and introduced as an IEEE standard in September 2024, Wi-Fi will cease to be a communication-only standard and will legitimately become a full-fledged sensing paradigm, explains Francisco Restruca, assistant professor of electrical and computer engineering at Northeastern University, in a paper summarizing the state of the Wi-Fi sensing project SENS, currently being developed by the institution or the Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers. SENS is envisioned as a way for devices capable of sending and receiving wireless data to use Wi-Fi signals interference differences to measure the range, velocity, direction, motion, presence, and proximity of people and objects. So this is where they started off, as we always been saying, gradualism. They started off with these devices like your smart TVs that was secretly listening on you, right, or secretly recording you with those who are the onboard cameras. And now then they had things like Alexa and Siri that would be in, or even on your devices like your phone and your tablet. Once you didn't switch it off, they'll be there and they'll listen, and then all of a sudden you'll see programming ads coming your way pursuing to things that you may have been speaking about in the open air, it would have been gathering that data, that information, and the algorithm would pick it up and send advertisement your way. So what? That's why they call it what? A smart device, right? Even on this phone, there's something called what? Smart things, right? Let me see if I get it. It's supposed to have it right up here. I guess it updated and it took it off from the top right here. It had something called smart things, right? Yeah, it's like we could connect to everything that's so-called smart, right? Because some of these things I don't even know when they do the update. Nevertheless, it says, I'll read over this part again. Sends is envisioned as a way for devices capable of sending and receiving wireless data to use Wi-Fi signal interference differences to measure the range, velocity, direction, motion, presence, and proximity of people and objects, right? So this is how they're going to be using it as part of their godhood, right? So like, let me... This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 6. And now we know what withholdeth what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall the wicked be revealed, right? Which we have been revealing the wicked through what? Prophecy, right? Because every nation is identified in the Bible, 18 nations under the sun. Aforetime they were called what? Sons of God, who is who? The Israelites. The sons of the power, the Israelites, right? How we know that? Because what? Sons of God, good God means power. It's the same as Israel. Yah, he, Shah, Prince, Allah of power, right? It says same spirit, right? It says then there was what? The sons of men, which is what you see, their nations, right? And the sons of the wicked, which is Esau. Look upon all the workings of the Most High, 2 and 2, one against the other. Good is set against evil, life against death. That is the twin brothers that were born in the womb of Rebekah, Isaac's wife. Jacob and Esau were their names. We represent Jacob, cool, dwelling in tents, right? Melanated, and he represents the Esau, red and hairy all over, right? It's what he was a cunning hunter, and this is them being cunning hunters, right? With their technology. You see, through the spirit and power of Hashem Yahushai, they on the left hand side have been fed with the blessing, which was the sword and the fatness of the earth, right? They would have been fed by the spirits and demons that they worship and do the blood sacrifices to know exactly where the plan would go. But it wasn't their plan, it was the plan of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai to bring forth their demise. And also for us to come, for us who have the hopefully elect to awaken to this knowledge, to reveal him in these last days. Right? Because Christianity wasn't revealing him, Catholicism wasn't revealing him, Islam wasn't revealing him. He's now being revealed through the spirit and power, the understanding of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, through these very same words. You know, because we often hear, what book is that you're reading from? What Bible is that you're reading from? The King James Version. You sure it's the King? Yeah, the very same King James Version that you have, right, collecting dust. Or if not even collecting dust, because you might dust it down, but you wouldn't read the words that in it. Revelations 1 and 3. Blessed is he that readeth. You see? And here the prophecies that be in it, you know? Because prophecies, the spirit of prophecies, the spirit of Yahushai. It says, verse 8, and then shall the wicked be revealed, of whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, even whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, right? And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, neither for this cause, God shall send a strong delusion that they should believe in lies. Right? So what's up right there? Go back to the article real quick. It says, it may come as no surprise that security and privacy considerations of Wi-Fi based sensing have not received much attention as restricted, because they don't want to have the security, they want to have it loose. They do things like in Trinidad where they made the laws concerning electronic monitoring so vague. It's not tight. The wording in the law is not tight, it's vague. So that they could stick in the RFID microchip monitoring. Right? It's vague, and they make laws loose either intentionally or unintentionally, right? Because ultimately it's to the desire of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, right? It says, as Restuccia warns in his paper, as yet research and development efforts have been focused on improving the classification accuracy of the phenomena being monitored, with little regard to SNP security and privacy issues. While this could be acceptable from a research perspective, we point out that to allow widespread adoption of the 802.11bf, ordinary people need to trust its underlying technologies. See? So the devil is trying to deceive. Therefore, SNP guarantees must be provided to the end users. Networking researchers have known for years Wi-Fi signals can be used for gathering data about nearby people and objects, but to date, such efforts like trying to capture gesture input via Wi-Fi have been the province of research objects. Now remember, anytime they bring technology out here, it's already 10 years in use by the military and the developers. So anytime it becomes commercial, it has already been perfected. Example, in the Gulf War, they was using the technology of Bluetooth before it was released in the US Army. You see? It says since 2020, however, the IEEE 802.11bf task group has been meeting and exchanging notes about how to modify the standards about the medium access control and the physical layer to support Wi-Fi sensing across the existing system, including, and then all the, it's just to repeat them numbers all over again. Restuccia argues the IEE standardization efforts in conjunction with the SENS system that are apparently being developed will create a perfect storm. The perfect storm, here the terms you use, the enemy coming in like a flood, right? For the introduction into the market of the groundbreaking applications that we cannot even imagine today. Right? Go back to the same precept. It says 2 Thessalonians 2:2, be ye not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letters from us, as at the day of Mashiach is at hand. This is the time. See, all these things are happening here. It's a clear indication. It's a marker. Because the tutors looking for that sign. They get in the sign of prophecy, and they still don't understand. Right? Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except they come a falling away first, and the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposed and exalted himself above all that is called power, right? Or that is worshipped, so that he, as a power, sitteth in the temple of power, showing himself that he is power, right? So this is it. That mystery of iniquity is revealing that this damn devil is about to make his move. Ephesians 6:11, put on the whole armor of power, that he may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, right? The wiles or the wilies of the devil, right? Wiles.
Strong's G 3180. Methodiah.
Cunning arts, deceits, craft, trickery, right? To lie in wait. You see? For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers, against rulers of darkness of this world and spiritual wickedness in high places. Yeah, this is the cunning craft of the devil. Having you believe that this is the way forward, that this is what the future must. This is what the future must hold. Convenience. Why do I need to be scanned? You know, there's a movie called Anon, right, where this girl, where everybody was on a network. You could walk up to somebody, which they have now. They have the Google, you know, I think it was an Olympics in Brazil or something like that. They introduced the Google goggles, right, where you could just have on these glasses and you could watch at people, and you'll have an on-screen display through the glasses of who this person is via their Facebook profile, and if they have a criminal record. Just like when the cop stops here and they call in your numbers, your registration, or your ID, it will go directly to the system, the network, which in Trinidad there's a network generated. They have a command center with everybody database going back to the EBC, the elections. I don't know if it's the EBC, but it's intertwined with your identity. It's definitely intertwined with your identity. Why I would suggest that is the EBC, because the Elections and Boundaries Commission, it may be more than that, because eventually elections and boundaries would really deal with those electorates who have reached the age to vote. But the identification, you know, each citizen will have an identification starting with a birth certificate from before that. Right? It says darkness of night, darkness of darkened eyesight, or blindness of ignorance respecting divine things and human duties, and accompanying ungodliness and immorality, together with their consequent misery in hell. You see? Persons in whom darkness becomes visible and who sway. So this is the valley of the shadow of death. This is the darkness. This is the darkness, and we are the light in the darkness. Going back to the movie Anon, right? There was the future was that everybody, when you look upon everybody, because you're already connected to a network by a brain implant, you can watch anybody, get their identity. You can actually play back. I think it was like 10 seconds before they meet you, 10 minutes or 10 seconds before you all met. So you can actually go into the history before you all met to see what they was doing. You can pull up, you can rewind, right? You can pull up, you can rewind. You can pull up the past. You can do a search on them, right? Just by looking up on a person, right? So there was this hacker who remained off the grid. At the end of the show, when they realized that she was in the criminal, what the cop asked her, so why are you hiding? Because she wanted to remain off the grid, and she found a way to remain off the grid, and she was offering that service for a price. And she said, he asked her, what do you have to hide? And she said, her reply was, I have nothing to tell. I have nothing to hide, but I also have nothing to tell or to show. Right? So this is what these devils want to do. They want to know everything, because they want to play God, but we have nothing to show them. All we want to do is worship our power in peace, right? And in truth. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, to come out of this darkness, right? Where these people are blind. They are blindly led of the wicked. They put their trust in Egypt, so they're going to be destroyed. Right? This program is no good. You see, that's why the scripture says, love not the world, nor the things thereof. The fashion of this world shall fade away. All these EMFs, electromagnetic fields, that you're surrounded by, thinking it's what convenient to have your phone, your tablet, your watch. All these things correspond and give a direct pinpoint location. If the enemy wants you, he can find you. And you have become so attached to it that you feel out of place. Your frequency feels off. If you don't have a phone in your hand or in your pocket or a device close by you, you feel off because these EMFs, they work on your pineal gland. And then you come attached because you are now vibrating on its frequency and not this frequency of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You see? Flee ye Babylon. You know? Be not partakers of her sin. So with that, I give all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Kodash, the blood of our apostles and elders, a great minister and citation to the men and brethren in his work in sincerity and in truth. Shalom.